Hey everybody, pause up. Today we're going to be doing a recipe that I like to call Nikki's favorite. Let's get started. For this recipe, the protein is going to consist mainly of pork. It's going to have some beef and then also some chicken. When I cut up chicken for myself, I'll usually, when I'm cleaning it, my barrel, sous chef's helping again today. When I clean up the chicken for our own meals, what I'll do is I'll normally keep the scraps for him and just make sure that you don't have any bones in there, obviously, because you don't want to create any kind of, puncture or anything like that or impediment in the digestive tract. So we have some little cartilage and fat and, meat scraps in there as well. So, but today we're not going to be doing any grains at all. We're going to do strictly all kind of fruits and veggies. So it's going to be comprised of zucchini that in my garden, I have zucchini, and these are some frozen ones from last year. And so they look a little soft and funny, but that's fine. It's perfect for his food. We will be using, this is actually purple sweet potato. Kind of really neat looking in there. I love that. So we just kind of ground that up. But I thought I'd leave one whole to show you that it's not cabbage, it's actually purple sweet potato. As you know, the more colorful your ingredients, the more nutritious they are, so we try to get as many colors in there as possible. Blueberries, they're frozen, so they look a little funky right now. They kind of look like they're, that's just frost. They were on sale, so I got a bunch of blueberries. Okay, so we have peas, pumpkin, strawberries. I'm going to add eggs into it. What I'll do is I'll just crack them in while I'm cooking the meat and let that be as part of the protein. And then we got a bunch of ginger in there. I will be adding parsley. This is just some parsley. I dried my own parsley from the garden. So you can see that. It's just some parsley. It adds some trace minerals in there, as well as the usual and you will add this at the end. It won't be actually going into the cooked mixture. We'll add it into the baggies individually. And this is just ground up eggshells. And we'll do a video on how to do that another time. And that adds the calcium as well as additional trace minerals to your recipe. So we'll get started putting all this together. All right, so we're gonna start incorporating all the meat. There's the pork. And then, as usual, we're going to add just a tiny bit of water. We're going to add that ground beef as well as the chicken scraps. And I've kind of diced all that up to make sure it's, bite-sized pieces for my baby. If you have a larger dog, you could certainly do bigger chunks. So we're just going to cook this meat off. And once it's fully cooked, what we'll do at that point is we will go ahead and add in the veggies. And all of this stuff pretty much can be eaten raw, but we like to just kind of get it in there so it's all incorporated. Oh yes, gosh, I almost forgot about the eggs. So I'm gonna carefully make sure you don't get the shell in there. Save your eggshells. Just kind of swirl them around. That's what you want to do, is you want to incorporate all of that nutrients. So, all right. So now we will let it cook off, and we'll be back just to show you how we bring in all the other ingredients. All right. So the meat has cooked down mostly, and there's a little bit of pink still in there, but that's okay. We still have a little bit of cook time left. We're going to add the veggies. So here's the zucchini. This will be interesting to see how purple this turns it. Purple sweet potato. Okay, let's do the peas. Blueberries. And like I've said before, it doesn't look like a lot of blueberries or anything like that, or even like with these strawberries. But they're not going to get necessarily a bite, of every individual ingredient per se. I mean, we'll break up these strawberries a little bit here, but that's totally fine. The nutrients will kind of cross you know, while it's being cooked here, and it'll incorporate into the meal, and they will still get the value and of the nutrients. Oh yeah, we got lavender meat, people. Okay, we're gonna also add in that pumpkin, and then my favorite is the ginger. Lots of nutrients in that little bowl. And then, you know, the veggies don't need to cook for a long time, for sure. So you're really just kind of gonna let it cook for a few minutes, all incorporated. Allow those nutrients to blend. Okay, we're just gonna let that kind of finish for another about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and check it. Okay, so it's been going for a little over 5 minutes, and I'll just tip it so it's easier for you to see. You will have juice in there, and by all means, don't drain that off. You know, you'll just add that into the meats. You know, and a lot of your ingredients will just kind of dissipate, like that strawberry. That's just kind of, you almost can't even find any of the other strawberries. They just kind of become all incorporated together and becomes a big old stew of sorts. Blueberries are still sort of plump, but they're about ready to burst and just become part of it. So I just wanted to show you that's kind of what it'll look like when it's all done. It just looks like a stew, and we're gonna let it cool off now so I can handle it better, and we will show you how we bag it all up. All right, well, I just put a little bit of this into this bowl to kind of expedite the cooling process. So I'm just doing like little half-cup servings, keeping half-cup servings into each of his little meal portion bags. Keep enough out in your fridge to use for that next couple of days, you know, up to like 3 or 4 days, and store the remainder of it in the freezer. So you could just, you know, do a couple days together in one bag instead of using lots of little individual ones. By all means, do that. What I do for Barrel is I put in, so this is just the ground up eggshells that I use as extra calcium with other trace minerals that are in there. And I put a half a teaspoon into each of his meal baggies. And I freeze as is. It's okay if you find some, you know, that are not necessarily really powder fine. That's totally okay. They'll digest that. So we're just gonna give Barrel a little sampling here. Make sure he's got a berry and some meat and some of that sweet potato. Those sweet potatoes came out so pretty. And it made everything lavender. We're gonna give him a little taste sample. Okay, you gotta sit for me. Do you give me your paw? Thank you. He's very fluffy right now. Give me your other one. Thank you so much. He's due for a grooming. Wait, you wait. Okay. Well, as usual, he's pretty excited about his meals. So we're sure your babies will like them too. By all means, please hit the like and subscribe button. There's a button right down here. Go look down there. It says subscribe. Click it. There's even options if you don't want the notifications every single week, but you do want to, you know, subscribe and get involved. Please, by all means, go ahead and do that, and you can control that as you wish. And thank you so much for tuning in for another fun video, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great day. Paws up.